For the longest time, when we thought about wealth, we pictured physical stuff, right? Houses, cars, land. But we're smack in the middle of this massive economic shift, moving into a world where the most valuable assets are the ones you can't even touch. So let's explore a whole new way to think about wealth, value, and the internet itself.
Our guide for this journey is a book called The Law of Digital Ownership, and it's basically a blueprint for this new reality, a reality where the internet isn't just a place we hang out, but a place we can actually own.
And wow, this quote from the book, it just gets right to the heart of the issue. Every click, every post, every single little thing we do online leaves a trail. And for years, we've just been giving that value away for free, letting these giant companies build fortunes from our digital footprints.
And that leads to the big game-changing question, doesn't it? What if you could flip the script? What if, instead of just being a user, you could become an owner? Well, that's exactly what we're about to break down.
Okay, first things first. To really get a handle on the solution, we have to understand the current system, what the book calls the Great Digital Giveaway.
So the book lays out this really fascinating analogy. Think of platforms like YouTube, Meta, or TikTok as their own countries. They have a population, that's us, the users. They have economies, transactions, and even governments run by algorithms. But here's the catch. In this system, it's the platform owners who get rich from everything their citizens do, while the citizens, us, end up building wealth for somebody else.
So if you want to make that jump from being a user to being an owner, you have to understand the new rules of wealth. Value just doesn't work the way it used to. There are 3 brand new drivers that are powering the entire digital economy. First up is attention. Seriously, it's basically the new currency. In the old world, companies paid for prime real estate on a busy street. Today, they pay for your eyeballs online. All the influencers, the brands, the creators, they're all fighting for your attention. Because in the digital world, attention translates directly into power and money.
The second driver is data. Every single thing you do online, what you search for, what you like, even what you scroll past, all of it produces incredibly valuable data. This stuff is used to predict your behavior and build the most profitable businesses on the planet. It's why the biggest companies today are at their core data companies.
And that leads us perfectly to the third driver, digital assets. The internet is now jam-packed with things you can own and trade that only exist online. We've gone from an era of just consuming digital stuff to an era where we can actually own it.
And this chart illustrates perfectly why data is so incredibly powerful. You've probably heard the saying, data is the new oil, right? Well, it's actually way more valuable. Oil is limited, but data is unlimited. Oil needs expensive refineries. Data just needs algorithms. And while oil powers machines, data powers entire economies.
Okay, so we get the problem. The next question is, what do we do about it? How do we make the switch? It's time to talk about moving from user to owner, and it all starts with recognizing the digital property you might already control.
So what even is digital property? Well, it's pretty simple. It's any asset that exists in a digital form. We're talking about the content you create, like your videos or your posts. It's the social media accounts you've built up. It's the designs or ideas you've developed. It's even things like domain names, which are basically digital real estate.
And here's a really crucial insight from the book. Chances are, you're already a digital owner, and you just don't know it. Just think about it for a second. Every social media page you've grown, every piece of content you've put out there, it all holds potential wealth.
Let's make this super concrete. That Facebook page you have with a big following, that's a digital property that can land you business deals. That domain name you bought years ago for fun, think of it like a plot of digital land that could be worth a fortune someday. And that YouTube channel you've been grinding on, that's a digital business, and your videos are like little employees, earning for you 24/7.
All right, so what's the real payoff here? Why is changing your mindset from a consumer to an owner so incredibly powerful?
Well, the way the source material frames it, the digital world is splitting into 2 groups. You've got the digital consumer, who just scrolls, likes, and gives away their data for free, building wealth for other people. But then you have the digital owner, who creates, builds, and actually monetizes their content and data, building wealth for themselves. The goal is to get firmly into that second column.
And the potential value can be absolutely astounding. Get this, a domain name, a little piece of digital real estate that you might have bought for just $20 could one day sell for $50,000, or even more. That's the kind of power we're talking about, even with tiny digital assets.
And the advantages are just incredible. I mean, we're talking about assets that can generate passive income while you're sleeping, assets that can scale to serve millions of people all over the world with almost no extra cost. This is how you build real independence and even generational wealth in this new economy.
So where does this all begin? It's not about becoming a tech genius overnight, not at all. It all starts with one simple but really profound change in how you see the internet.
So, what's the one big takeaway? The fundamental law of this new economy is actually pretty simple. The more of the internet you own, whether that's content, data, or digital real estate, the more wealth you will ultimately create.
And really, it all comes down to this one final question. Every single day, your online activity, your digital footprint, is helping to build an empire of immense value. The only question left is, shouldn't that empire be yours?